Chanuka Sameach, and welcome to Hilchot Chanuka. While we won't be able to cover all of the halachos of Chanuka, we're going to do our best over the next 8 minutes to go over the pertinent halachas we're all going to need to know. Shulchan Aruch says on the first night of Chanuka, we say 3 brachos, the Hadlik Neshel Chanuka, She'asa Nisim Lavotenu, and Shechianu. Every other night we omit Shechianu, but we say the other 2 brachos. The minhag is that we say the brachos and then we light the candle for that night, following by the candles for the previous nights. If one forgot to say the brachos and lit the candles, then up to a half hour after lighting, one may still recite the bracha of She'asa Nisim, and if one was yet to recite Shechianu, one may recite Shechianu as well. The Mishnah Berurah brings down 2 customs of when one should sing Haneros Halalu. Some people do it after lighting the candle for that night, while others do it after lighting all the candles. The Mishnah Berurah says both this minhagim are great, and you should continue doing what you've done for years. The best way to fulfill the mitzvah of lighting Chanukah according to Ashkenazim is for each person to light 1 candle on the first night, and as the nights go on, the candles for that night. However, in Sephardic homes, the minhag is only that the head of the household lights candles for each night. If one is lighting by a window, then on the first night you light the rightmost candle. Each night we add a new candle to the left of the previous one, and then we light from left to right, starting with the new one. However, if a person is lighting by the door, one should light at the doorpost opposite the mezuzah, and it should be about 6 inches away from the door. Then each night we actually put a candle on the leftmost spot, and we add a candle to the right, and we light from left to right. The reason for this is that we want the lighting to be within 6 inches of the doorpost. And if we light from the right side of the doorpost, it's going to be further away. Ideally, one should stand on the left side of the menorah so they don't pass over the old candles on the right when lighting left to right. The Gemara says that the Chanukah candle should actually be lit with enough fuel to last from nightfall until people leave the marketplace, until people stop walking in the streets. In Chicago, that time is about 9:30. If, however, that's not feasible and putting so much oil is not going to be something that we can do, then one just needs to have enough oil in the candles to last a half hour. It's forbidden to benefit from getting anything from the candles for the first half hour, even any minimal task. The minhag is to light the shamash candle, so if one does need to use the light of the candles, it's permitted to use the shamash. Minhag is brought down that during the first half hour that the candles are lit, women are prohibited from doing any work. The only activities that would be permitted are the same activities that could be done on Chol HaMoed. The most ideal place to light is where is most visible to the street. So if one has a window that's visible to both those inside and outside, even if the window is over 20 amos from the street, is at a high level, 7th, 8th, 9th floor, etc., it's still okay to light on the window since we're giving off the most Persumei Nisa, we're publicizing the miracle as much as we can. What if one goes away during Chanukah? So someone who's going away and you have your own room with a window, one should light by the window by themselves. It doesn't matter if you're visiting a friend or family. If one does not have a place to light in their own room, they should not light where the host is lighting since it's not your house. Instead, you should join the lighting of the host according to the Bir Halacha. This can be accomplished by picking up the oil and the wicks as an acquisition or by paying the host. In such an event, if it's possible, the host should add a little oil for the guest portion as what you're giving over to the host. The guest should listen to the brachos and answer amen. If he's staying there for the duration of Chanukah, you should of course light by yourself, even if it's right next to the host candle, since it's like you're moving in for the week. When lighting at a hotel, if you go to a hotel, you should say the bracha and you should light tea lights, just line them up where you would usually do maybe by a window or by a table, wherever is safest, and just light the small tea lights. Someone who's going away for a business trip, if you're going away for a business trip, you should light by yourself wherever you're staying. If someone is traveling by the plane overnight, as a lot of people are traveling abroad, and you cannot light in transit since the plane is not at home. If someone is lighting for you at home, then you're going to fulfill that mitzvah if you're getting there later that night. If not, one should recite the bracha of She'asa Nisim upon seeing someone else's candles being lit. What if someone attends a wedding or an event on Chanukah? If the wedding takes place at night, And then you should light the candles before you go, and you should make sure that there's enough oil to last a half an hour after Tzeis HaKochavim. The ideal time to light is 10 minutes after sunset, and one who's at work or school or learning Torah need not stop at that time. Rather, they can keep doing the regular activity until they usually finish and then light together with their family. In general, one should not light earlier than sunset except on Friday afternoon when it's absolutely necessary. In that case, you should light right before you light your Shabbos candles and so on and so forth, and you should make sure that it lasts for at least, again, half an hour past Tzeis HaKochavim. One should ideally not delay lighting Chanuka candles too late, and if one really gets home late, you should light your Chanuka candles up until 9:30. If someone plans to daven Mincha Mariv right at sunset, one should daven and light right away. However, if one plans to daven later, you should light beforehand and then go to your regularly scheduled Mariv. On Friday afternoon, as we said, one should do their best to light Chanuka candles after davening Mincha. So on Erev Shabbos, one should daven Mincha before lighting Chanuka candles. However, with Shabbos coming in early, it may be difficult to make it to a Mincha Minyan. Then you should light candles, you should light your Shabbos candles, and you should go to Mincha at your regularly scheduled time in a shul. It's preferable to light the Chanuka candles with olive oil, since that was the oil used in the Beis HaMikdash, but wax candles are also okay. Some actually say that congealed solid olive oil has an added enhancement of the mitzvah of using olive oil. However, either regular oil, congealed oil, or wax are okay. During Chanuka and Shachris on all 8 days, we add in Hallel, and one should recite a bracha before and after. The passage of Al Nisim is also added to all three Shemona Esreis, as well as during Birkas HaMazon, during benching between Ba'al HaKol and Noda Lecha. Finally, many of us have the minhag of getting together with family and having festive meals on Chanuka, especially eating dairy, as those were the minhagim. Those is how the nace was done. And while there's no obligation to eat these meals, if one does eat this meal and celebrate with family, one should make sure to remember to say the Al Hanisim during the benching and during all their tefillos. Have an amazing and uplifting Chanukah Sameach.